It's a new moon in Virgo, 15 September, 0139 UTC. That's right in the morning on 15 September UTC. This is a season of harvest. Virgo season always is. And it's a moment here for fall preparation. We're moving into the fall now with this new moon announcing that. We're awakening here to this empowered Virgo archetype because the domicile ruler Mercury of Virgo is present and powerful, stationing direct on the exact same day as this new moon. I think of the symbol of Virgo here, the goddess virgin holding the sheath of wheat. And it's the idea that we can have a fecundity through our efforts and through our work, results or a harvest or fruits that come through work. It's key to the Virgo archetype. Wheat is sustenance. Wheat is something we eat. We make bread. Wheat is core to human nourishment. It has been throughout many cultures. So there's something nourishing here in the Virgo archetype. It's also a testament to agricultural technology. We make agriculture through using the mind, through using the technology, and the detail-orientative powers are deployed here on the land and body to produce things and to bring us abundance. That's all embedded here in this new moon in Virgo with Mercury, its domicile lord, co-president stationing direct. Keep in mind, this is the first new moon since Venus and Mercury have been direct. It's the first syzygy where either are direct, and they're both here direct. There really is a notion of forward movement. It was 18 July's new moon in Cancer the last time we had a syzygy without a retrograde Mercury or Venus. So we're really moving here into some forward motion. Signals a progression of endeavors, maybe fresh narratives that can be reborn here. 15 September, right as this new moon is arriving, initiation of new projects of all kinds, amplifying the nature of the moon as a beginning when it is new. When you have the sun and moon joining, that's announcing a beginning. Well, you double up on that with Mercury and Venus both direct now for syzygy. So there's a real sense here of newness, new self, new emergence, and then pushing into these fall months that are about to arrive. I think we can also consider this new moon as the moment to reap insights from the retrograde season sowing. We had backward movement of Venus, reviewing relationships, reviewing identity and pleasure and all of the values. We had Mercury retrograde in Virgo, going into double check, cross T's, dot I's around anything going on in our lives. Now we get that forward movement. We can start reaping what we've sown. Remember, we're heading to the climax of the year, eclipse season in October. 2 eclipses, a solar eclipse in Libra on 14 October, a lunar eclipse on 28 October. So this is the time to move forward into those climaxes. There are 4 planets and earth signs during this new moon. Moon in Virgo, Sun in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, Jupiter in Taurus. That's 4 of the 7. The majority of planets are here in earth signs. What is the earth element? Practicality, efficiency, groundedness, materiality, the body. All of these questions of support and tangibility can be centered here during this new moon moment. What is the support and tangible nature of your life and of your reality as we push into the fall and this climax of eclipses? I want to go to Anne Wright's Constellation of Words website. My favorite website to study constellations or fixed stars. Very comprehensive website. What does she quote about the Virgo archetype? She quotes Manilius. Manilius saying, "From the virgin will also come the stenographer. His letter represents a word." And then this is her writing. The speed writer, the shorthand writer, vellum and parchment derived from the skins of animals were very expensive commodities. The need to economize had encouraged the use of highly abbreviated style of writing in Latin. So think about that. That's what the Virgo archetype can be according to Manilius. It's the efficient way that we can use the materials around us for productivity. The stenographer had to develop shorthand to save money on vellum paper. So where is it in your life? Where is that maybe meticulous, sometimes perfectionistic or scrutinizing or even health conscious model that you might bring to this new moon moment? Perfect for the Virgo archetype. I think health conscious is a great theme because when we become health conscious, when we care about our bodies, even preventative health or saving resources by spending a little time or money now on the health will save us later. Save us great suffering and great expenditure, preventing future health events. We can maybe consider how you're going to go about that. How's your immune system? Are your supplement intakes going well? Is your exercise regimens going well? All of that's new moon in Virgo. Moon ruling Virgo by triplicity, Venus ruling Virgo by day triplicity. The pleasures of the body, the protection and taking care of the body, huge part of the Virgoan, and then Mercury getting real detailed about it. And at the same time, anytime you've got Virgo, it's this dance, this push-pull between the critical side, the striving for perfection or purity, you might say, on the one hand, and then the production on the other. You know, you can have analysis paralysis And that might be the darker side of Virgo. There may be some of that we're having to process here with Saturn and Pisces opposing those Virgo placements, but it's a tightrope. It's a walk between aspiration and criticism, between production and particularity. So I think you'll find your flow here. Mercury stationing direct, overseeing this new moon moment. Real power here to deploy Mercury and to navigate that tightrope. The Moleskine notebooks, I wanted to bring those in because they're a cultural hallmark celebrating the art of precise note-taking. I've got one. I've got some Moleskines. I always carry one with me. It's this idea of the affinity for detailed, practical writing, very Virgoan, but having that notebook, an idea comes, let's get it down. My notion is that if I have an idea and I don't write it down, they often get lost. They're gone. My uncle, the fine art photographer, would always say, if you see the photograph, you have to take it because it'll be gone forever. So when you feel that inspiration, you have to sort of move into it. It's the same with note-taking or writing or the detailed, precision-orientative planning. Moments come, we have to seize them and get them down with the writing tool. Writing is a key word for Mercury, always has been. Think about your notebook or the way you take notes or the way that you're notating your experience. Even plans can be supported by writing them down. I remember I was in rehab when I was a young man. I was sent to rehab and in college. One of my cousins, long lost cousin, we weren't even that close, but I get this book, comes to me in rehab. It's Write It Down, Make It Happen. That was their way to support me during my trial there. But I've seen that to be true. If we actualize in language, thought, and then written form, it really can propel these kind of future plans or future manifestations. There's a lot of that here. And this is that last lunation leading to the eclipse season lunation. So I use the term lunation to mean month. We have a full non-eclipse lunation or lunar month. This is the last one before that eclipse season lunar month arrives with those two eclipses. So there might be anticipation here with this new moon for this first solar eclipse in Libra. We're building into that. Remember, Mars is in Libra now. The South Node is in Libra. The Sun will enter Libra on the 23rd of September. So there's building here over this waxing phase of the lunation. The Virgoan can help us plan and prep. I say scenario plan for eclipse energy. Go into your mind, write down what are the possible ways that reality may invert or assert in strange ways around those house topics, wherever the eclipse is happening in your chart. There also is a sense here that this waxing phase and then waning phase, this lunation before the eclipse season, it's a great time to create. We've been waiting. We've had these retrogrades. Now is the time to get some of your projects brought into reality, and then we can then ride eclipse season inversions. But we're creating here before the eclipses, and then we let the eclipses maybe alter our creation. Let the hand of God come in and alter our creation. This lunation, though, is the one to get active, get busy, get your projects out into the world, in my view. I think here John Lennon's quote, life is what happens when you are busy making other plans, but you still make those other plans. That's the only way that the hand of God, aka eclipses, can work with you, is if you're already working and making those plans and putting things into reality. That's this new moon in Virgo setting up the eclipse season. Remember, Mercury will station direct the same day. It stations direct at 2021 UTC, so over 12 hours later on the 15th. Mercury retrograde's conclusion then is embedded here in this new moon. And it's an important moment for Virgo because Mercury now goes back over those degrees, and Mercury will push forward and take us into eclipse season. Remember where Venus is going to be for both of those eclipses, in Virgo. This is a Virgo eclipse season. This new moon in Virgo ushers in newness in that sector with a Mercury strongly supporting now direct. So think about your Virgo sector. If there's one message of this video, what's going on in your Virgo house? Because that's a key expression for the outlet for these eclipses, as Venus rules both eclipses by domicile in Virgo for both eclipses. So Jupiter in Taurus is still in the degree of its retrograde station, the 16th degree, and it trines Mercury in Virgo in the degree of its direct station, the 9th degree of Virgo. That's a pretty close orb, 8 degrees or so, 7 degrees of an orb of a Jupiter trine Mercury. So there's a Earth trine, a great Earth trine here. Saturn in Pisces in opposition. It's in the 3rd degree of Pisces, but Saturn relies on Jupiter, and then Jupiter trines Mercury. So there's a dance here with that Saturn opposition getting an outlet with Jupiter. I'm less worried maybe about that Saturn opposition in a certain way. It's like a cosmic tag team as well. Jupiter has just stationed retrograde, handing the baton to Mercury. Now Mercury in Earth signs is going to run ahead here pretty fast. past and hit all those later degrees of earth signs that Jupiter won't get to until next year. So Jupiter's sort of pushing Mercury ahead here in this moment. You might think about this new moon as a handing over ceremony to Mercury from Jupiter and getting us into that earth sector and pushing ahead into eclipse season, where again Venus will be in Virgo, accentuating the earth sector. I think of the picture The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith plays Chris Gardner. He's kind of a living embodiment of these Virgoan traits, this Chris Gardner character. Detail orientative, he had mercurial genius. There's scenes in the movie where he solves a Rubik's Cube that leads him to securing an internship. So it's all about math and Mercury and then using that to get ahead. The quotes of the movie that are really famous, don't ever let someone tell you you can't do something. So we scrutinize the scrutiny. Is that criticism true? Classic Virgo. And you can turn the scrutiny back on someone who's trying to challenge you by even going more scrutinizing. We can embody the essence of Virgo's unwavering drive. Mars is the supporting triplicity ruler of earth signs. So it's way down the list, but Mars does play a role. Mars has so-called sect in earth signs. Resilient. Chris Gardner was against homelessness. He was relentless in his job hunt. Another quote from the picture, you've got a dream, you've got to protect it. So this is kind of a Virgoan rallying cry for relentless, consistent, detail-orientated pursuit of your vision and dream. Don't quit. Use your minds and smarts to not quit. I think that's a big message here. We might have wanted to quit retrograde season, all these delays. We haven't, we're still here, and this new moon is saying, keep going, keep going, keep going. This is from the website gotohoroscope.com, their astrology dictionary. I want to share this because it's apropos. I mean, a direct station, Mercury's stationing direct in this chart. They say it's a temporary position of a planet's stationary state is considered a favorable time. It is encouraged as a good time to make essential decisions in several popular kinds of astrology. And yeah, I think that's true. I mean, even the traditional text, a direct station is when the blocks get removed, and it's a peak of energy removing blocks. It's a great time to feel into what's pressing ahead. Maybe wait for a good moon, the election I'm going to show you, to make that decision. But here there's a punctuation of a removal and a forward movement with the direct station of Mercury, domicile ruler of the new moon. So with this new moon, certainly a punctuation. And let's remember the dates of Mercury in Virgo. It entered Virgo on the 28th of July. It leaves Virgo on the 5th of October. And so you have this whole season of what I would call the retrograde cycle in Virgo. The sign-based cycle, kicking off on the 28th of July, ending on the 5th of October, and this 15 September, where that retrograde 3 weeks is now kind of sloughed off and we can move forward. Okay, finally, the election for this waxing phase of the lunation, 25th, 26th September, Aquarius moon. It's amazing, beautiful Aquarius moon. This is the one to release the project if you've been waiting to do that. I will be releasing something in coordination with some collaborators. Look out for that on my Twitter account. I'll maybe make a post here too when these projects get released that I've been working on. 26 September 0309 UTC, right in the morning, is the chart that I'm showing here. The moon is waxing, and that's a core principle for launching a project. If you want to grow something, you want to launch something that has legs and can expand, you want to get a waxing moon. So look for this Aquarius waxing moon. Mercury and Venus, now both direct in the chart. So we really love Mercury in direct motion for any kind of election because Mercury signifies business and analysis and money and trading and all of it. So usually business or publishing, we want Mercury direct. You get that in this chart. Venus is now direct. Pleasure, love, abundance of Venus is now moving forward. Right in this chart, Jupiter and Venus will bonify the moon. The moon will separate from Jupiter and then apply to Venus. And if you can get the chart, like the one I've shown, you get this benefic fixed sign finality with a waxing moon to kick off these sort of wondrous endeavors. And this is right before Mars' entry to Scorpio shakes up the fixed axis on 13 October. Mars will enter and shake things up. We lose this pure benefic fixed axis. That's one of the big stories of October. This is the moon. This waxing phase right here, perfect one, 26 September, moon bona fide by the two benefics and fixed signs. This is the one to sort of capture the final moments of this energy. Unleash your creativity, launch your project, the novel that you've been sculpting all through the retrograde, publish your blog post or the article, do what you've got to do here. This is the time. Launch. This might be a kind of, this is how I think about electional astrology. It's the code of reality, and it gives us these green lights. And this is a major symbolic astrological green light to move on and move forward and launch things. Projects may be crystallizing from that retrograde gestation, and now it's time to get them out in the world. Like I said, I've got a bunch. I've been waiting for this whole time. It's all happening here. Can't wait. It's awesome. Cherishing watching, remember this final pre-eclipse waxing phase. There's not another one. It's the new moon in Virgo, full moon in Aries, the final pre-eclipse waxing phase with both Venus and Mercury direct. Now is the time. Go. So that's it. Have a lovely new moon in Virgo. Kickstart your fall. Get a lot done here before eclipse season. Accelerate into these climaxes of eclipses. You can always go to my website, sjanderson144.com. Schedule astrology readings with me there. Click here to schedule a reading right at the top. Enjoy your new moon in Virgo. Enjoy this waxing phase of the lunation, and I'll talk to you really, really soon.